Okay, everyone, this is Patrick from EasyFX Code Trading System, and it is Sunday, the 12th of January 2020, and this is the weekly analysis for Euro, Cable, and Aussie dollar for the second week of January. And let's kick off with the Euro dollar, where at the start of the week it pulled back up to retest the 112 level where it fell from the previous week. And then following that, after it was rejected, we tested the upper channel trend line and fell all the way back down to the daily 55 EMA and the 111 support level. So then after a doji on the Thursday, it managed to recover and climb back up with slightly worse than expected US non-farm payroll data. So that gave the euro a slight boost back up into the lower channel trend line area. And this week there's only the ECB minutes, the monetary policy meeting accounts that's going to be released on Thursday, and no other economic news of note. That's also just, we can also probably extend this lower channel trend line to this level here, and because it could be moving in a bigger channel, and join these two levels up here. So this could be a bigger uptrend channel. So support is still at the 111 area, and interim resistance now is at the monthly pivot at 111.55, along with the daily 200 EMA. But above that, that's the key resistance at 112, and we can also probably move this Fibonacci to cover this whole range, and perhaps take it from the swing low of a couple of months ago to the end of November, to the recent swing high at the end of December, and we're back down to the 50% fib level, and could not reach the 62 fib retracement area. So this is a likely range that it's probably moving in for the next few days at the start of the week, and we'll see what the new pivot levels are. So if it does find support at this lower channel trend line, then it could gradually move up through this intermediate resistance and back up through the retest the weekly R1, but we'll see what the new pivot levels are. But it will take a few weeks to recover this. Let's take a look at the weekly time frame, and it does show a large spinning top. You can also check out my weekly Ichimoku analysis, which is on a weekly time frame on a separate video. Alright, so for now it's consolidating in within this, imagine a triangle here and a ascending triangle, and it needs to break this upper trend line area. Alright, let's take a look at the cable. And the cable has also retraced lower to almost retest the support zone near the 130 area, and it could not reach the retest the previous swing high where we marked an intermediate resistance, and only hit the 132 level before falling back down. So there's a 200 pip range here for last week. And with this Fibonacci levels, it's settled back down to the 62 fib retracement level. Just at the 130.50 area. And we'll see what the new pivot levels are, because last week's pivot was sitting right at the 50 fib retracement level. So this week, this coming week, there are a few economic news releases with GDP and manufacturing production on Monday, CPI, PPI, and a few other indices on Wednesday, and retail sales, UK retail sales on Friday. Right, and counter to that, the US news, there are quite a number of news, but may not be that significant. There's CPI on Tuesday, PPI on Wednesday, retail sales and Philly Fed manufacturing index on Thursday. And then on Friday, there's some housing starts and consumer sentiment figures. So we'll see what the impact of those will be to the euro and cable. Right, on the weekly time frame, it's also a long-legged spinning top, almost a doji. So there's more indicating more consolidation, and it's in about 120 to 140 pip zone. All right, let's move on to the Aussie dollar. And apart from lower than expected US non-farm payroll jobs added, which gave a boost to the other major currencies, the Australian retail sales figures was also much better than expected. So the Aussie dollar did manage to find some support, and right at a level where the rising trend line was cutting across it. So that's the support zone here, and we probably don't need this line anymore, this trend line. And it's hitting up against the resistance at the 0.6900 level, and above that there's the daily 200 EMA as the intermediate resistance. We may be able to just shift it to a different zone, perhaps at this swing high and the monthly pivot. So at the 0.6930 to 36 zone. All right, so we'll see whether this resistance will hold or whether it's going to break through, but then there's a further upside resistance at this level. Support is holding at this 0.6870 area along with the rising trend line. Let's take a look at the weekly time frame. And it's also a large spinning top, and there could be some consolidation as well, since it did fall from the monthly pivot and fell hard to the lower trend line, to this rising trend line. So there's no economic news for the Australian economy this coming week, so it's just exposed to the US data, and as well as the US-China Phase 1 trade deal that's going to be signed on 15 January. so that may provide some upside in the short term. But other than that, there's no other exposure. Alright, so do check out my other videos on spot gold and dollar yen, as well as the weekly Ichimoku analysis for euro and cable. And we'll follow up on the daily analysis midweek, this on Wednesday. And meanwhile, have a good trading week and cheers.